In 1965, but for the first time in nearly 50 years, you can now see people who look like they're smoking in TV commercials. They're not using ordinary cigarettes, though, but e-cigarettes. Here is one of the new ads that was broadcast earlier today.
Lots of different flavours to choose from. I'll never try them all.
The battery lasts a lot longer than my old e-cigarettes.
Juicy peach, that's my favourite.
This week.
And it's not the only one. This advert will be shown later on tonight.
Find out why 89% of our consumers said they prefer VIP over other brands.
That's all we can show because it runs after 9 o'clock. Well, the commercials are being shown following a change in advertising rules. So, do they normalise smoking or do they simply help people give up cigarettes? To discuss this, I'm joined by Shirley Kramer from the Royal Society of Public Health and Sandy Chadder from Kick e-cigarettes will join us live from Manchester as well. Shirley, what do you think? They're not cigarettes. They're not thought to be damaging like cigarettes. Those who promote them say they help people give up cigarettes. So isn't it about time that they can advertise on TV?
There are two schools of thought, I think, on this one. One is that they certainly do less harm than smoking, because we know 100,000 people die each year in the UK from smoking. And really, what we'd like to see is people using e-cigarettes as a vehicle to give up smoking. That is really the tool, and that's why they're there. And so any advertising should be, they say in the regulations, socially responsible, and socially responsible advertising would say this is a product to use to give up cigarettes.
We'll put that to Sandy in a minute. Do you think his ad for Kick is socially responsible?
Actually, I think his ad is more responsible than the one you showed with the woman on her own, which is certainly much more glamorising. In the ad that the Kick ad, they talk about somebody having quit cigarettes. It might have been better if they'd said, if you're trying to give up cigarettes, but it's certainly more socially responsible than the other.
We asked a few people what they thought of these adverts. Let's have a look first before we speak to Sandy.
That one you've just shown glamorises that in a way that would encourage people to take that up as a new habit.
It encourages young children who don't smoke to go out and buy it, and they will then get addicted to nicotine.
I think it encourages people who smoke to switch to e-cigarettes, which are much better than smoking, personally.
Sandy, some people think that your ad and others are aimed at, well, people who aren't trying to give up cigarettes. You're trying to get in new customers. Is that right?
No, absolutely not. We're aiming our advert quite clearly at smokers.
The thing is, smokers don't smoke cigarettes that taste of peach, do they? So what's the point of that? Why don't e-cigarettes just taste like cigarettes, if that's who you're aiming at?
I mean, is your first choice of a chocolate tobacco flavour? I mean, I suppose tobacco flavour is not as pleasant to taste as, say, juicy peach. So, I mean, it's a choice that we offer as an alternative to smoking.
The thing is, as Shirley mentioned there, you make a big thing of the social benefits of not smelling of smoke, those different flavours that we just mentioned. Why no mention of the fact that this, you think, could help people give up cigarettes?
Well, there are certain regulations and rules that we've got to go by, and we can't really advertise it as a quitting aid. We can advertise it as a good alternative to smoking, and that's what we do.
What about making the ads, though, more like others for products that help people give up, that, you know, overtly do that, like patches and gum? Because there is quite a difference here, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is something that's not been regulated, and it will be in the next 2 years. So it's something that we have to be careful of and make sure we abide by all the rules and regulations. And we do that in the advert. I mean, we had to change the advert maybe 6, 7 times just to get it right and to make sure that as a company, we're confident that we're not sending out the wrong message.
What if, though, people received it in the wrong way? They see this ad, they think, OK, it's not smoking, it's a nicotine delivery system, it tastes nice, you say, I'm going to try it, even though I'm not a smoker.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that if you look at the previous ad you showed, it's aiming at not the audience, in my opinion, is completely wrong. Our audience is much older. You can see by the advert, it's more like the last news article you're talking about rather than the one that you're showing now.
OK, Sandy, thank you very much for the time being. The thing is, Shirley, does the government really want this to work? Because do they make too much from cigarettes to want people to stop smoking?
It's a very good question, and I think most people in government believe in the public health message, that they're trying to keep the country healthier, and to do that they need to encourage people to give up smoking. In the 1960s, 70% of Britons smoked, and now we're down to 20%. And so that's we have made progress, but it's taken us 50 years. And I think the danger and our worry around the e-cigarettes is that they might encourage people to start again if they see this on the TV.
Shirley, Sandy in Manchester, thank you both very much indeed.